Kids, good morning and welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be talking about the Bitcoin price action on crypto Twitter. I'm seeing this rising wedge breakdown everywhere, and like the amount of panic is kind of crazy. Everybody was so euphoric last week, and the search volume for altcoins and altcoin season after seeing a peak completely plummeted to the downside. I actually think that's a good thing. And with regards to this rising wedge, I don't think that this is the point we break down and the Bitcoin bull market is over. No, I think we're going to correlate more with the M2 money supply and do something a bit different, which may shock everybody. So if you want to hear that prediction and analysis, make sure to watch until the end of today's video. We obviously want to talk about Ethereum, a few other altcoins, so that those will be covered on in just like a few minutes time. So sit back, relax, enjoy today's video. Guys and girls, thank you so much for 55,000 subscribers. You're absolutely amazing. I'm super happy to be back in Dubai. I've missed the studio. I've missed this microphone. Like, you know, when you go away from a Shure SM7B for so long, you really understand that you need to appreciate it more. And I'm just so grateful for this audio quality and this camera quality. It just feels amazing. Sadly, I'm not in Dubai for so long. I'm actually leaving in 12 hours time, but I will be back again next week. Obviously, there will be still videos. I'll just be in a different location. But yeah, let's get the show started. If you want to claim completely free VIP level 2 status where you get 25% off trading fees, you can actually sign up to weeks using the first link in the description down below. And in 24 hours time, you're going to be upgraded to VIP level 2. Guys, I don't even have VIP level 2 because I can't claim the bonuses that we offer to you, but you can get it, which is fantastic. So if you want to get it, then you can use the first link too. Sign up to weeks, and in 24 hours time, your accounts will be upgraded to VIP status. Let's begin things off with Bitcoin and talk about the 4-hourly time frame, and then we can zoom out to the daily and then to the monthly charts. So on the 4-hourly time frame for Bitcoin, when you look at it, I think the point of which Bitcoin is going to come down to and then see the ultimate bounce from is the 11, so 111,937-ish area. Why do I think that this is the line of support that's super, super important? Well, if you go back to May the 23rd, May the 22nd, Bitcoin created a brand new all-time high by hitting almost $12,000 or $112,000. And then it took Bitcoin quite some time, a month and a half, to revisit that level, retest it, get rejected, and then you explode it to the upside. You pump by a couple of $1,000s in a very short amount of time. I still remember that day. And you just, you went bananas and you hit $118,000 and eventually a very nice all-time high of $123,000. So I think that's a very nice level of resistance, clearly defined. And not only was it good resistance, it was also very good support, because in the 3rd of August, or on the 3rd of August, you came down to it, bounced, that marked the swing low, and Bitcoin went and created another brand new all-time high. And I just think that, yes, I know the point we're at is still some okay-ish support. It's not the best of supports, but I don't like how the price action is looking at the moment. And I think there's a fair chance that we may come down to 11.9 and retest that level in the immediate short term. Am I changing my trading for Bitcoin? Absolutely not. I'm not doing anything different. We still have, all of our positions active, so I'm not changing anything. I'm still bullish on the macro. It's just the intraday doesn't look the best. Speaking about macro, everyone on crypto Twitter that has a crypto account and tweets, they're all concerned about the rising wedge breakdown. And I understand it doesn't look like the best. We have also a massive bearish divergence. So I get it. All of these things are upsetting. But I just think that Bitcoin is going to follow the M2 money supply correlation, the same correlation that Bitcoin has been following with over 90.5% positive accuracy for the past year and a half. Like, I don't understand why we're going to do anything different to that. If you look at the S&P 500, we're following the 1996 to the dot-com bubble era with a 97% correlation. And that's, the S&P and Bitcoin is also very highly correlated. So there's all these different correlations going on, and I don't think that it's going to break. I think that we're going to go ahead with it and play along nicely and reach a brand new, very nice all-time high in September and gradually increase until that final increase towards the final week of September. That's my outlook. I've been trading the M2 money supply. We've been trading the M2 money supply correlation with an approximation of 84 days delay. for a very long time. That's how we caught the bottom for Bitcoin at 77. That's why we've been buying Bitcoin for so long. We've been opening long positions on weeks because mostly of this M2 money supply correlation. Yeah, there were other factors like the retest to the, the inverse head and shoulders on the weekly time frame, so on and so forth. But if you look into how the M2 money supply looked in April, it already projected this massive rally to the upside, and all we did was trade it. So when you look at it now, it's projecting a gradual increase and then a blow off top in the final week of September, and then a gradual decline to the downside. You're confirming that this third sort of high is also a lower high, initiating that downtrend, looking very similar to the beginning of this downtrend for the S&P. And yeah, the sad news is I think Bitcoin will most likely top in Q4. The guy that wrote the super cycle theory, Michael Turpin himself, he's also bearish. And I just think that Bitcoin has a good likelihood of topping in Q4, then altcoins will probably end up following it in Q1 of 2026. Yeah, this chart I don't want to talk about so much because I don't have so many nice things to say about it. And then we covered the bearish divergence. So I think that's a good wrap up for Bitcoin. Please let me know if you think differently in the comments. Your comments are always appreciated. Talking about altcoins are down today, not doing so nice. The amount of interest in altcoins is also down following a massive wick to the upside. When you go to the total crypto cap, we're still drifting below the cup and handles resistance. Eventually, we're going to see a massive breakout, add almost 2 times the amount of value that the total 3 crypto cap has. And I think follow Bitcoin very nicely to reach that resistance, the multi-cycle resistance. So I'm still stacking up altcoins. I think now is a great time to be buying altcoins for the long term. Nothing has changed for that. But if you're a derivatives trader and not a long-term investor, which I think most of you are, then you obviously care about the short term. And for things like Ethereum, bearish divergence is there. You have the head and shoulders pattern. And what I'm doing with Ethereum is I'm buying up as much as I can between, well, essentially now, because you have good liquidity. If you go to the liquidity heat map, most of the liquidity is trapped between where the price is now at 420. We can refresh this because we've claimed that point of liquidity. Let's see if it loads. Come on, there we go. So we claim that liquidity. Now the most amount of liquidity, $7.32 billion is piled up at $4,147. So I think that point is, in my opinion, very likely to hit. So if you want to be buying more Ethereum, then you could be going to your week's trading account and setting limit orders at that massive point of, well, support on liquidity at 4.160. That's the range that you probably want to be adding if you want to, if you are bullish overall on Ethereum. If you are more of a position trader and you want to accumulate positions with lower leverage, that's what I've been doing, then I think the 4.16 is a good place to be adding into Ethereum positions. We've been long Ethereum since 1.5 and 1.6, so it could be a nice spot for an entry. I'm going to wait it out. I want to see a confirmed sign of a reversal before I add into my personal trading, because I think that Ethereum can go potentially all the way down to 3.9, revisit the highs created between the 21st of July all the way to the start of this month. So 3.9 to me is looking like a very nice place to add significant amounts of capital for me. And we also do have a lot of liquidity piling in that range for ETH. So that's my outlook on Ethereum. Revisiting 3.9 would be amazing. It wouldn't be a bad thing. It took Ethereum so long to break above that 4K 3.9 level that if we were to revisit it, like it would just really be an amazing thing. Revisiting the point which it took almost years for us to break above, finding support, and then after finding it as support, continuing to the upside to 8,000. That would be the strongest sign of a reversal. What's going on? Of a reversal in history. So at that point, I want to be buying as much as I possibly can. But I want to see I want to see that strong candle. I think it's gonna happen, but I want to see it on my chart before I allocate tremendous amounts of capital back into ETH and potentially sell some more Bitcoin to buy more Ethereum. Link also has a bearish divergence. I think we can reverse to the 17-ish area. We've covered that in a previous video, so I'm not going to go into too much detail with it. Cardano, I think we will see a short-term reversal. Dogecoin, there's an issue with Dogecoin. Very nice symmetrical triangle. Would be great to bounce from the 0.21 level, find support, and then continue to break out into the 30-cent territories. However, Dogecoin looks like it could be the next victim of the Qubit community. They've took over XMR, Monero, by controlling 51% of the hash power, and they want to do the same for Dogecoin. Since then, XMR is down about 10%, and even though I love Dogecoin and I have a lot of Dogecoin in my portfolio, I'm not going to be accumulating more of Doge during the potential continuation of this dip, simply because I have no idea what will take place if Qubit actually succeeds. So for now, staying away from Doge. But guys and girls, that's about it. I don't like the MSTR price chart. As soon as I became a shareholder, MSTR started to dump. Nothing that's uncommon with CryptoKid. Whenever I buy something for the first time, usually it decides to vomit to lower levels. We can discuss MSTR in more detail on the upcoming Moon Show tonight, so stay tuned for that. And guys, we have some very good news between Russia and Ukraine. It looks like Trump could be ending the war, and hopefully he does. So in a very short amount of time, we could be seeing more and more positive developments between Russia and Ukraine. But with that said, thank you so much for watching. That's it for today. I'm going to be AFK from basically midnight tonight all the way until like tomorrow afternoon, because it's going to be a long flight for me, but I'll try and update you again before boarding my flight. But with that said, thank you so much for watching. Take care, Crypto Kids, and I'll see you all very soon on the Moon Show and then another Crypto Kid video. Take care, guys, and as always, bye, bye, bye.